Hey friends, how are you? So I didn't, as I'm sure you noticed, if you are part of my newsletter, I didn't do a reading for the month of October. I actually took my own advice and took some time for myself recently to get myself back in balance because I had been feeling a little out of sorts, and I'm happy to say I feel much better. One of the things I did do that I want to quickly share with you before I do a full moon reading for you. The full moon is, depending on where you're located, on Sunday, this Sunday, October 9th, at, I was going to say a time, but I don't know the time because it depends where you're at. But back to being back in balance again, and something I did for myself is I recently made a trip to a beautiful sacred holy place in our area called Holy Hill Basilica and Shrine of Mary. And I wrote a blog post about this. I will put the link below, but it was such a beautiful experience that day, and I still have all these good feelings going on inside of me. But the coolest thing happened was in the gift shop. I am a big fan of St. Francis of Assisi, patron saint of animals, which probably should not come in as any surprise. And I discovered this statue that I had to bring home with me. And I did write a blog post about it if you want to know more. But this is St. Francis of Assisi with a wolf. And I had never heard of the story before, and maybe you have. And it's one of the greatest, most popular stories, I guess, that goes with St. Francis of Assisi is the story about the wolf that was terrorizing a village. And I was so moved and so touched by the story. This happened to be the last of this one left in the store. And for weeks I had been feeling this nudge to go to Holy Hill, but I wasn't quite sure why. And I really feel like St. Francis was calling me along with the wolf. And this wolf does look white on here, and white wolf is one of my spirit animal guides. So I just feel like they were the ones that drew me there to learn about this story and to share it with others. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link to my blog below, my blog post about that. So I just had to share that with you first. So this month, October 9th, full moon in Aries, so in the sign of Aries. I happen to have my ascended sign in the sign of Aries, and I know a little bit about astrology because I've taken an introductory class to it. So the sign of Aries is actually known for being an action sign, and it represents the active core of our spiritual journey. So if you know a little bit about astrology and you kind of know how to look at your chart, just as an example, my Aries sign is in the first house. And the first house is all about mastering self. And you know, the more I evolve in my spiritual journey and the more I understand about myself, that is exactly the reason I'm here. And while that has been, I have had so much growth and learned so much about myself, sometimes that's been a very frustrating thing for me. So that's just an example of what Aries is about. Again, it's an action sign. It's the active core of our spiritual journey. So maybe take a look at what's where Aries falls in your chart. And that's something maybe to really pay attention to then for this full moon with the sign of Aries and where that is in your chart, just to help you a little bit. I thought there was something else I was going to say about that. Oh, I just appreciate the sign of Aries. I haven't always, but I appreciate it more and more of having that as my ascended sign because my birth zodiac sign is Cancer. I have full moon, or I have moon, sun, and Venus in Cancer. So I just feel really grateful for Aries, who has to sometimes kick the butt of my Cancer zodiac sign, or I would just stay home and be cozy all the time. So Aries is the kick I need to do the work that I do. So that's just an example that I hope will help you as you look at your chart and then think about the full moon being in the sign of Aries this October 9th. So let's pull a card. I'm going to pull a card from the Oracle of the Seven Energies, and just to look at what our overall theme is for this full moon. And really, when you look at the full moon, it's really about setting an intention, and the full moon goes for the next 2 weeks before we move into the new moon. So full moon is about releasing, letting go of, and setting an intention of what you want to bring into your life. And not that you're going to fully manifest it in the next 2 weeks, but you're going to start to take an action towards that. One step every day, one small baby step every day. And I really feel like Aries is really kicking me in the butt right now, and I feel excited about that, and some things that I'm thinking about and pondering about that I want to start putting more into action, start taking steps toward that. So let's pull a card for the theme for the full moon in Aries and see what that is. And then I'll pull an animal guide also from my deck that I hope will be out in the early part of the new year. Still having some challenges with that. Oh, this is perfect. So what did I just say about Aries being the full moon? It's about taking action. The full moon is about learning to let go and surrender. And we have willing release. So, you know, right away I think about surrendering can feel very vulnerable. It can feel scary. We may try to control those things which we know we need to let go of in order to take our next right action step. So, and when I see it as willing release, we always have a choice. We have the choice of staying in the struggle, and we have the choice of surrendering and letting go of that which no longer, you know, serves us in our life. You know, there's things in our life that are good for a while, and then it's time to let go. And again, we normally know what these things are because we can feel that. You know, we can hear that little voice in our head. We can feel it in our heart. But again, sometimes it is hard to let go, but just start to take small action steps toward what it is, that you want to let go of. And maybe you can do that gently and slowly. And just start to play with that and let that integrate into your body and feel how that feels. Because sometimes if it's a major thing, you do have to go slowly. And then the one step you take leads you to the next step. So it looks to me, let me just look at this. It does look to me like this is a butterfly. And butterfly, you know, is about transformation, you know, and, you know, evolving into something new that is more in alignment with our life at this time. And of course we have the wishes there. So, you know, go ahead and make a wish for what it is you want to set the intention for. You know, put that intention out into the world. And I don't know in your area if you still have any of these left. I don't think we do, but maybe there's some flower or something that, and maybe you have some of these left. These almost look like, you know, how dandelions, when they make, I can't even think of what to say. Anyways, you blow on them and then the little parts just blow away. So maybe there's something you can find. Or maybe it's a candle. Maybe you light a candle, set your intention, and then blow the flame out to send that out into the universe. That this is your intention and this is what you want to manifest. And also not to forget what to let go, because you have to let go. Because if you don't, that's what's going to block your way to what is next for your life. I have a frog in my throat today. Maybe frog will be the animal that comes up as our guide. So I'm going to pull an animal guide to go along with the message of willing release. And that will be our animal guide between now and the new moon. For my deck, having a challenge with the cover design of the box and getting it to be the right size for the printer that I'm going through has been a very big challenge, which I shared in my blog post, and but I'm trusting it will work. It's all going to work out, you know, and everything has its divine timing, so I have to trust that. So what animal is going to guide us in this new moon in Aries, and being willing to release what no longer serves us. Oh, let's see. I guess I'm feeling called to this one. Oh, it's Tiger. And Tiger, I have as devotion. And right away, I'm hearing how we have to devote self-care and time to ourselves to be with what that is we wish to let go of. To stand strong in that, to have the courage to do that. I just love Tiger. I love this Tiger. I just was so thrilled when I found this image. I actually, how I made these cards, they are collage and pastel. I can't talk today. Chalk pastels. I think that's how you say it. And pencils and paint. But I just love this tiger. Just such a soft, sweet tiger, but yet encouraging you to be strong in how it is that you want to live your life. What do you want to devote your life to? So often we get pulled in different directions of how other people see us and how they think we should live our lives and what they think is best for us. But Tiger is reminding us to stay devoted to ourselves, stay devoted to our spiritual journey. And I know that can be hard at times because I've definitely felt that too. But the more I stand in what is right for me, the more I want to be that. And in reality, that is how you do make a difference in the world, not only for yourself, but those in your community, those in your family, by being who you truly, authentically are and staying devoted to that. So that is the message for the full moon in Aries tomorrow. And so I hope that was helpful. And yeah, I guess that's it. I feel like there's something else I should share with you, but I think that is it. So be willing to let go of what no longer serves you and step into that place and that space in your heart that you know you've been wanting to do, and know that it's a choice. It is a choice that you can do that, and know that Tiger is right beside you, cheering you on, giving you the courage to do that and to stay devoted to what is important to you for your spiritual journey, walking this earthly plane. All right, have a great full moon, everyone, and I should be back next month with a general reading for the month of November. All right, we'll see you soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.